How is that? Is that better? Okay, that sounds like the sound might be better now. Is that better? Okay, I'm not sure what happened. I clicked the one more button and it worked. Okay, so let me start over again. All right, so let me. And I want to thank you so much for joining us today. We're welcoming you here to the 203K Super Conference pre-event webinar. I want to thank you and welcome you all. How many of you can read lips? Okay, you know, mine are red, so it's kind of easy to read, right? Thank you so much for being here. This webinar and training had originally been planned for last Thursday night, but so many members had emailed us and called and said, I have no internet. I'm in a real bad way from Hurricane Harvey in the South. So we moved it to today, thinking that that would address that need. And then unfortunately, here we are now with Hurricane Irma having affected a lot of Floridians who do not have power. Georgia, Florida, many residents of those states have no power. And so we are welcoming you if you're here live or if you are actually watching this as a replay. So thank you so much for joining us this evening. We're going to get started right now. Let me ask you guys a quick question, and thank you so much for typing into the chat lines. It shows me that you guys know how to use your chat features. Yay, team. So I have a question I'd like to ask you. By a show of hands, how many here would like to get started benefiting from the upcoming 203K Super Conference even before you get there? Raise your hand. Or actually, it's the request button. So if you just hit the request button, that's raising your hand. Okay, a couple people found that button. Great. Okay, good. Thank you. And how many of you know that there are things that you could do to add to your business that will improve your profits? That there's more things out there that you don't know yet that could make your business better. Raise your hand or hit the request button. Excellent. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. So congratulations for registering for the upcoming 203K Super Conference and for participating in tonight's pre-event webinar. We really want to let you know that we appreciate you being here. My name is Catherine Hall, and I want to welcome you on behalf of the National Association of FHA Consultants. And so many times people say that 80% of success is just showing up. And so we want to say thank you for doing that, just showing up. And I want to acknowledge you for making this session and the 203K Super Conference a priority in your obviously already busy schedules. Thanks to your dedication to professionalism in your career, we have almost a sold-out house. We can accommodate only 100 attendees, and that's a fire marshal's requirement. That's not me. And right now, we're at 81. So we're only taking a few more slots. And so we're really just so excited to have you here tonight. And some of you are on the webinar who haven't yet made a decision to join us. And this is something new for many of you, having a pre-event teaser, basically, or letting you know what you're going to get at the conference instead of just showing up and not knowing what you're going to find when you get there. So I really thank you all so much for being here. And we're very excited about the response we received from what we anticipate to be an annual event. So we just want to thank you so much. And as I said a few seconds ago, I just want to really especially acknowledge all of our members and guests who have been affected in the areas from Hurricane Harvey and Irma. As I said, our hearts go out to you. And the reason why we chose that heart image on the screen is National Association of FHA Consultants is partnering with the American Red Cross and accepting donations to forward to the American Red Cross and asking you just to simply go to the American Red Cross as a safe and reliable resource to provide help, support, donations, and assistance for all the many hard-hit people in the south of our country. And many of you are watching this, as I said, as a replay. And we understand much of Florida is still without power at the time of this live broadcast. So I'm really thanking you so much for joining us, and we look forward to really giving you that love when we see you at the event. So tonight we're going to give you a brief sample of what you will be experiencing at the 203K conference. And we will be giving you some resources today to set up now so you can get the maximum benefit from the event next month. Before we get started, however, I truly believe that you will not hear a person's words until you know who they are. So may I take a few minutes and just introduce myself and some of our wonderful platinum sponsors? Thank you so much. Yes, so that's really kind of cool. So let me introduce myself to you. My name is Catherine Hall. As I said, I am the founder of the National Association of FHA Consultants. I'm also a local home inspection company owner. You know the phrase, those who can do, those who can't teach. Well, I believe those who teach should also do. And I'm an actively functioning 203K consultant. I did one this morning, a matter of fact, where I'm going to be helping a lady. And I am very happy to, and I will be giving you a little more in-depth about me at the conference, but I just wanted to just let you see a little bit about who I am. I am the owner of one of the oldest multi-inspector firms in the Philadelphia, Delaware Valley, Value Home Inspections. And as it says, I'm the co-founder and director of education of the Keystone Real Estate Academy, as well as an instructor at Drexel University and Temple University. While I really am so honored to hold all these titles, and I have committee memberships, etc., that I have in my home market, it is my titles of Executive Director of the National Association of FHA Consultants and creator of both the 203K in a Box FHA Consultant Training and Marketing System and the Genesis 203K Rehab Reporting System that truly fill me with pride and joy and honor. And so those are the areas that I'm really so excited to be able to focus on it and share with you. Now, some of you might be saying, so what exactly is NAFAC? Well, what is the National Association of FHA Consultants? Well, NAFAC is the first and only nonprofit association. It's the first association of any kind, exclusively and totally devoted to all involved in the world of renovation lending and renovation purchasing and renovation housing. We actually assist individuals, home buyers, and we work with a number of our markets around the country, and we are working to be the premier resource for anyone searching for a consultant, a lender, a contractor, or even a real estate agent that has a specialization or a desire to become expert in the world of renovation consulting. We serve home buyers, existing homeowners, lenders, real estate agents, contractors, and each other. And tonight I'm going to go into a little bit about some of the things that we're going to be sharing with you on how to effectively help serve this market. And so what is our company mission? And is to provide and encourage. Our 3 C's of our mission statement is to provide competency, consistency, and community to the residential lending industry partners. How do we do that? Well, our 203K Super Conference is one of the ways that we're going to create a community and strengthen our network of individuals through NAFAC membership that we're going to be giving. Everyone who has registered for this event is going to automatically get free membership in the National Association of FHA Consultants. And this is a candidate membership. It's completely free. It gives you access to the website. It gives you access to our monthly all-member webinars. Different levels of membership provide different features. And so we're going to give everyone who is registering today a complimentary 2-month membership that includes all rights and privileges at the premier level of membership. So we're giving every one of you that membership, and I'll explain what that is once we begin. How do we create competency? I'm going to show that to you in a minute, and also about the consistency. So I'm going to share how we're going to solve all 3 of these parts of our mission plan in just a few minutes. But one of my missions right now, which I'm very happy to do, is to introduce to you our wonderful platinum sponsors. Now, unfortunately, as I had said, our platinum sponsors were unable to join us due to a variety of reasons, location and other commitments, but you're going to meet every single one of them at the Super Conference. And again, they were all lined up to be here last Thursday, and having to change it to today really, interfered with their schedules. And so we understand that. So the first sponsor that I'd like to introduce to you, albeit he's not able to be on the webinar tonight, is our platinum sponsor and facilities host, ProLab. And the person you're going to see most at our event smiling at us is Ben Fontan. Ben is vice president of the professional laboratories, and ProLab as an organization has been and continues to be the leader in environmental health testing systems and has a number of laboratories both here and in Canada. Ben, as the vice president, is the person that's going to be assisting all of us, and he actually is going to give a special discount to all of the Super Conference members. And I'm not giving away any tips, but it does include some free testing for mold tests. So it does include some free lab tests. I know that's going to be in your future. He offered that to those who were on our recent all-member monthly meeting for the month of August. He gave everyone, he was a guest speaker at that meeting, and everyone who was on that call got a number of free lab tests. I won't tell you how many, but we were very excited and everyone was so eager to be able to have that opportunity to get some free lab work for their mold testing. And mold is a very important consideration with renovation consulting. Appraisers around the country are calling out mold that they're seeing and smelling in homes, and they're calling for mold inspections. And as an FHA consultant, it's your responsibility to make sure that any potential repair activity that's necessary as a result of mold is incorporated into the scope of work. Now, a lot of us as home inspectors, we offer mold inspection services, and some of our clients cringe at the $350, $400 prices that sometimes we charge for the amount of mold samples that are needed in a home. The good news is that as an FHA consultant, if you require mold testing in order to qualify remediation activities or repairs in a home, in order to know what we need, you have to do a mold test. The good news is the cost of that mold test is able to be included into the purchase of the property, and we'll talk more about this at the conference, and it's deducted from the amount of money the client has to bring to closing. So, for example, all fees that are paid to an FHA consultant for FHA consulting activities are able to be deducted from their closing costs, and mold is an excellent service that they now get to basically have for free because they get the money back because the cost is added to their mortgage. And really, how many pennies really is added to a loan for a $350 mold test per month? Okay, so this is something that is really great. So as I said, Ben is in Florida, in Fort Lauderdale, Weston, where we're going to be holding our event, where the House of Horrors is located. I spoke to him yesterday, and while he had no power and he was very hot, the House of Horrors, they boarded up the building and it sustained absolutely zero damage. So the understanding is that the utility company is expecting to have power restored no later than Monday of next week, and which is easily within the realm of our requirements by October 6th. So we're not even worried about that. The building was undamaged, so there's no problems. We are very grateful. Thank God nothing happened to any of our family there at ProLab or the facility. So we're very happy to have him and thanking him greatly, he and Jamie McDonald, the owner of ProLab, for allowing us to use their facility for our training. Our second platinum sponsor is the other co-host is the co-founder of the House of Horrors in Weston, Florida, and Nick Gromyko. Now, I'm sure Nick Gromyko, it almost needs no introduction. He's also the creator of the House of Horrors in Boulder, Colorado, where we held the 203K Discovery Days, a 1.5-day training earlier in the year. Nick is the creator, founder, and innovator of the world's largest home inspection association, InterNACHI, and the fastest growing. Nick uses his creativity and his vision to empower all home inspectors everywhere, and he just really embraces what we're doing here at NAFAC in a really special way. And I'm not going to tell you what the special offer is that he's going to be giving everyone who comes to the event, but let's just put it this way. It will save you a great deal of money. And it's something that if you are in a state that requires membership in a national association in order to maintain a license, this is going to help cut some costs off of your bottom line. So I'm not going to give that surprise away either because he's not here to do it himself. But trust me, it does include some savings of actual cash to you. So I'm hoping you'll be, I'm so really very excited to have Nick, and he'll be speaking on day 2 of our conference about marketing and how important it is for you to have a specialized designation in your world. Okay, so we're looking forward to hearing Nick speak. Another one of our platinum sponsor, the next one I'd like to be sharing with you and who actually also has a very special offer for all of those who are going to be attending the 203K Super Conference, is Dan Huber. And Dan is the founder of the Inspection Support Network, or ISN. Dan is another amazing innovator who has transformed the marketing and client management systems for industries of all kinds, but especially has benefited the lives of businesses of home inspectors and 203K consultants. We are now integrated with ISN, with the Genesis Rehab Project Creating System, to facilitate autoresponders and actually downloading the data from ISN to your Genesis site, to your Genesis system, so you don't have to retype things. So we are, and one of the things I know I'm not giving away any special secrets, because he did say we could do it as soon as this webinar, but everyone who is on this call tonight is eligible for 60 days free membership in Inspection Support Network. And that actually corresponds with the 60 days free in NAVFAC and 60 days free in Genesis. I asked him, normally he gives people a 30-day trial, but he said, okay, you're doing 60 days for your people. We'll match that. And so we'll give them all 60 days membership in ISN. So now what I'd like you to do is simply go to the website, inspectionsupport.net. And you can actually hit the chat button, or you can email them through the links that you'll find on their webpage, on their homepage, inspectionsupportnetwork.com. And just tell them that you are attending the 203K Super Conference and you understand that you get 2 free months and you want to set that up now. We're going to talk about why I want you to do, before we get to the conference, have a lot of these systems, even if they're just set up briefly in your account. We want to make sure that you have that available to you. So please make sure that you are getting an opportunity to log in to Inspection Support Network, okay, .net. Oops, went to the wrong one. Okay. And let's see, Inspection Support Network. There it is. Okay, great. So I'm pulling it up on the screen now so you can see it. And there you can see inspectionsupport.net, and you have the contact line here. They have live chat Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. Eastern, and till whenever. And so you can actually send them a chat line and say, hi, I understand that I'm going to be able to get 60 days free. I want the NAVFAC Genesis packet with the autoresponders for NAVFAC and Genesis. Can I get my account set up now? So I really want you to take advantage of this opportunity to set up your account before we get there. So you can chat with them till 7 p.m. Eastern. So they're closed. The chat, they actually still have some where you can actually type in a message and they'll get it the next day. You can email them and just put in the message, coming, 203K Super Conference Special 60 days free trial. Want to set up before the conference. I can't spell. So you want to do that, so you can just send that to them as an email, call them, or chat with them during their chat hours, or you can just send the message right here. So this is the message I want you to send: 203K Super Conference Special 60-day free trial. I want to set it up before I get to the conference. So that's something that I want everybody, if they're not already an ISN user, mention that you are a Super Conference attendee, that you want the Genesis autorespond, the Genesis 203K NAVFAC membership link. Okay, so that's definitely something you want to do. And our last, and certainly not least, platinum sponsor. I actually could not. Terry had sent me a picture, but apparently, the JPEG was corrupted, and I couldn't get the picture. Many of you already know wonderful Terry Howell of Rattolink. Terry, again, is a dedicated individual who has helped business owners around the country incorporate into their business and protect our communities house by house from the horrible damage caused by lung cancer due to radon exposure. And once again, this is a system that you can provide the service as an ancillary service to your clients. And the fees for these services are incorporated in the scope of work as a need to determine what remediations are necessary. So, for example, if I have a house and it is in an area that I know is high, it's traditionally high in radon, I'm going to suggest a radon inspection, and the cost of that radon test will be able to be included as a paid on contract expense. If it does come up high and we have to have remediation, no worries. The cost of remediation is then built into the scope of work. Even if it's a situation where a seller is willing to negotiate on completing those repairs, all you want to ask the seller to do, or you'll suggest to the real estate agent, and we'll talk again more about this at the conference, is the only thing we want sellers to do is lower the sale price. We don't need them to fix anything. We'll take care of it. That way, your buyer or your homeowner, your borrower, is the one choosing the contractor, overseeing the work, and then any kind of guarantees or quality of workmanship responsibility is going to be directly tied to that homeowner, not to the past homeowner. So we are going to be Terry's going to be speaking at the upcoming event, and he's going to be talking about the importance of radon testing as it relates to rehab loans and renovation lending at the Super Conference, and talking about how the best time to have a radon test done is when you have an opportunity to do the repairs that are necessary with the radon system installation, along with any other improvements in the home. So we want to just thank all of our wonderful sponsors, our platinum sponsors, and we have other sponsors, but we are highlighting our platinum sponsors because of their investment in our conference and their dedication to this industry. So we want to just welcome them and thank them. We hope you'll spend time with each of these and the other conference sponsors that you will meet at the event. And so we want to thank them. The focus of the 203K Super Conference. So now I've told you a little bit about who NAFAC is. I've told you who some of our premier platinum sponsors are. Now, the next question I want to answer for you is, what is the reason for the Super Conference? What are you going to come out of that Super Conference with? Well, we have a goal, and we only have one goal. And you know, if you keep things simple, you can pretty much hit the mark if you don't have too many goals lined up in front of you. So we always make it just one simple goal. And our goal for this event, the focus of the 203K conference, is to give you all new and cutting edge tools and resources to allow you to do one thing and one thing only: help you better help those we serve. You see, this 3 days will be organized so that you will receive hands-on experience evaluating a home using FHA minimum property standards. You're going to get to go through the House of Horrors and look for a predetermined number of minimum property standard deficiencies that have already been identified. And you're going to be able to use those items that you're identifying as minimum property standard deficiencies to create actual reports in the Genesis system. And you see, here's where we create that consistency. Because if we show every one of you how to create the write-ups, how to create the reports, and you take this information back to your local markets, lenders start to see what a really well-written report looks like. It's going to cause them to question the quality of reports that are created by other people not as competent and not as dedicated as you. So here's a brief, large brushstroke overview of what the agenda looks like. Friday is going to be our longest day. From 7 to 8 a.m., we have registration and a breakfast for you. It's a little bit better than a continental breakfast, but it's going to be there. Lots of hot coffee, donuts, fruit, and pastries. From 7:30 a.m. to 8 p.m., this is our full day. We're going to have lunch is going to be provided. Again, that's part of your registration ticket. Dinner is not provided, and so we're going to be. What we probably will do, since we're going to have a long night, we probably will order pizza and have pizza brought in for everyone. But we might just give you guys a break to go out to dinner, get a chance to get away from everything, and then just come back after dinner is over. So that's going to be our longest day. Saturday is registration again. Some people are not able to join us Friday. They can register on Saturday. It's from 7 to 8 a.m. registration and breakfast again. And then that should say 8 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. We're not starting at 5 to 5:30 p.m. That's a short day, isn't it? So that's supposed to say 8 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. So this is going to be a typical work day for us. Again, lunch will be provided, and we will have a lunch speaker. As I mentioned, most likely Nick Ramika will be our lunchtime speaker. And then 7:30 to 10 p.m., we're going to be having our general membership meeting and buffet dinner. And this is complimentary for all of you. And no, you don't have to dress up, but I will be. And guess what color I'll be in? Okay, not hard to figure that out. So if you want to have an opportunity and you're bringing a companion or a spouse or family member and they're at the hotel, this is when you can bring them to the buffet. There is no extra cost for the dinner. And that's compliments of our platinum sponsors. And we're going to basically have dancing and an open bar for several hours during the night. And then we're going to get up Sunday morning, have breakfast again, and up until from 8 to 5 p.m., the conference day ends, and we'll see you next year. So that's what our 3-day is. It's going to be a full day. And so if you haven't yet made your airfare reservations or your travel arrangements, know that we are going to be going all the way through to 5 o'clock on Sunday afternoon. So you don't want to plan to say, oh, well, usually they end early on the last day. This day is going to go right till the last second. So now, another thing that we were working on providing, and I got an email that we might not be able to do it. We were looking to have a Monday golf outing, and the golf club that we were supposed to have it at nearby, they sustained damage, and so water damage and some extensive water damage. So they told me that it's a day-by-day basis, and I'm actually driving down there when I get to Florida. I'm leaving tomorrow to go to Florida to check out things, and I'm going to try to find what's going on. So that is something that I'll be giving more information on by Tuesday of next week, by Wednesday the 20th. I'll be sending everyone an email who is interested in a golf outing on Monday. Okay, so because of the heat in Florida, but look, we're going to be in October in Florida. Who doesn't want to play 18 holes? Okay, even if you only want to play 9, and then that's fine too. We might just do 9 holes so that people can get home in the afternoon on Mondays. We'll send out a questionnaire to see what people are interested in or about that. But right now, I've been told that there is a problem with the golf facility. So we're going to just pray and hope things do better for that. So the conference itself is technically ending at 5 o'clock. There is an optional Monday golf network outing. As I said, that I'm going to provide more details once I know how the storm has affected it. Okay? So what is each day going to include? And like I said, most conferences you attend, you don't know what you're going to get until you get there. So I hope I'm showing you just how much we've put into this event, because I'm sharing you what you're going to get, because we're so excited about what you're going to learn. We're not afraid of what we're going to show you. Because we have so many people registered, this is so awesome for us. We're going to be breaking everyone up into 6 teams, and it's going to be a competitive it's going to be a contest. It's a competitive environment, just like life. And we're going to have each of the teams go through the areas of the property in a specific rotation. So I won't go into the details of the rotation because I don't want to, it's not necessary for me to share with you, and because I haven't got the finalized details right now. But basically, for example, it'll be basically broken down into 2 sets. Red, blue, and green, for example, will go through this in a 3-style rotation. Then black, pink, and yellow will go through the 3-style rotation. And while you are in the one rotation, while you're not in the rotation, you'll be having, there'll be speakers. You'll be listening to some other training. So that's what we're looking at. So when we go through the House of Horrors, as I said earlier, you're going to be looking for that predetermined MPS deficiencies, and then you're going to create the scope of work that will be used the rest of the weekend. So you're going to actually create the information you're going to enter into your system to create your reports and to be able to process draw inspections and other mock activities throughout the weekend. Okay, because many of you who are going to be attending are not 203K consultants, that are newbies. And just to let you know, we're not going to just leave you to the wolves. We're going to pair you up with existing consultants. And those of you who are existing consultants and haven't been doing it for a while, congratulations. We believe that you learn better when you teach. So don't worry, we're going to keep you on your toes and get you out there working with everyone. Our goal is that we're going to, at the end of day 2, okay, at the end of day 2, we're going to ask everyone to take a brief knowledge assessment test, which is actually part of membership in NAFAC to determine competency. So we're going to educate you enough so that you can be able to complete the knowledge assessment test. And so we're going to give everyone that test. We're not going to have you take it in the conference. What we're going to do is we're going to send that test to you electronically and have you fill out and complete that test online, and then send it back to us once you have completed once you get back home. So now, why are we doing this? What is so important about this activity? Well, rehab loans, they are there to make a lot of things better for a lot of people. I'm not sure how many of you have recently heard it, but there was a notification from HUD that HUD FHA insured mortgages, and there are several kinds. There is the 203K that we're talking about, and there's also another renovation loan called the 203H, which is a disaster relief loan for areas that are in federally declared disaster zones, which obviously everywhere Hurricane Harvey and Irma affected are federal disaster areas. So there's a lot of opportunities, and HUD has put out an announcement looking for consultants who may have not been doing it for a while to come back in the game because they're needed. Just like many of us who are FEMA disaster relief inspectors have been called up. Now, I'm no longer an active FEMA. I said the word Katrina because I was remembering that I did work through FEMA on Katrina. I'm not doing that any longer. I deactivated my membership, but I know many of you are concerned that they may not be able to attend the conference that they've registered for because they have to they're called up to work for FEMA. So I'm hoping that you guys will all be able to attend en masse. And so we're looking forward to giving everybody a real strong understanding about the value, the opportunities, and the varieties of ways you're able to utilize your skills and experience and designation and certification as FHA consultants. So, as I said before, day one will be the longest day, as while some teams will be involved in their rotations, others will be getting information on marketing, ancillary services, and other systems. Day two is actually when we'll be devoted to understanding the flow of a 203K project from the initial feasibility report all the way through to a final draw. And this is where now the process of the post-close draw inspection activities, that will probably not take place until day three. But we're going to talk about and we're going to explain on day two and help you be able to understand the reporting requirements if you're working with the client who's doing the limited 203K, how to work with the contractor who is doing a bidding activity, and what to do when you are required to complete the full work write-up, what documents, what forms, how do I process this, how do I get the lender everything they need. And all this will be done using the Genesis Rehab Reporting System, which is the next thing I want to talk about. We're going to be providing you all with, as I said, 60 days free membership in the Genesis Rehab Reporting System. And so what we're going to be asking you to do right now, even, or tomorrow morning, is a very simple process of registering your Genesis account. So now what we want you to do is, all you're going to do is hit the button that says register. Now, you see where it says this registration 203K consultants, but we are waiving that requirement for the purpose of this conference for those of you who are in the process of becoming certified consultants, and we're going to help you with that activity. So what you're going to do is you're going to enter your typical information, name. Let me make this a little bit bigger so you can see it. Okay, great. So you're going to enter the typical information of first, last name, email, phone number, obviously, address, city, state, zip. And then you're going to need to create a company ID. Now, this company ID is what anyone who logs into your Genesis account will use to basically access your system. So you want to make sure it's a name that is A, not too long, B, linked to the name of your company, and C, talks about 203K. So for example, if your company name is Inspect Right, Home Inspections, then you might want to make your company ID Inspect Right 203K. All right, so you get the idea that you want to make it a brand so that people start thinking about, wow, this company does 203K. So anything that you have, you can stick the word 203K on the end or on the beginning. And then when you create your company ID, all right, you're going to have an email address. So now, this is the email address you will use to log into the company portal. And I'm going to demonstrate why you need to make sure you have two separate emails for the program. So this might be the regular email address that you use for your for your business. Or since this is not the site that you're going to be accessing that often, you might want to create, you might want to, just use your regular email address. So if your email address is john@inspectright.com, this is what you'll use. And then you need to create a password. And you'll use this email address, company ID. So we just called the company ID InspectRight 203K. And as you can see, there's help at every line. There's help lines at every single line to help you understand what you're doing. So you put in InspectRight 203K, you put your password, your email. This is how you will log into the company to then add consultants. So you put all this information in, your company name, your company website, you read the terms and conditions right there, and then you hit I agree and then hit sign up, and you will be able to create your Genesis account. Now, if you are not sure what to do and want some help, the inline manual, and I'll click that button again to make it easy for you all to understand. The inline manual button here opens up, and we have something called walkthroughs. Okay, so here is a walkthrough for creating your Genesis Rehab Reporting account. So if you want to have a system that's going to walk you through step by step creating your account, all you have to do is go to the register button, hit the inline manual, click the button that says setting up your Genesis Rehab Reporting account, and it will literally walk you through step by step, even to of shading out other areas that you can't. So here you can see where we strongly suggest you not use the same email that you will use as you create your consultant account. And there you can see the address information. So when you complete all this information, you hit next, and then it talks about the name that you want to use, and it gives you some suggestions that you want to use for the name as I've just described, your password, your company name, and then simply read and accept the terms, and then congratulations, your account is registered with Welcome to Genesis 203K. You'll get an email from admin at Genesis 203K, and you'll be asked to make us a safe sender. And once you have registered your company, then you will be able to log in. Whoops, let me close that little box out. And so here's the main portal for Genesis. You have your company, the consultant, the contractor, and we're hoping that by the 203K Super Conference, you will have the ability to have your borrower access the system as well. Our programmer is in Florida, and so he's been out of commission for ever since last week. So I believe they got stormed out starting on Friday. So he hasn't been able, he has no power or internet. So I want to show you why it is so important that you make sure that you are clear about your usernames and your passwords. So let me just give you an example. Here is my sample company, NAFAC. And if I wanted to enter the company management system to create a consultant, I need to hit enter company management. Now, the system is designed for you to be able to have multi-inspectors. And that's why you don't just have a single login, because this allows you as the owner of the company to administer and manage the different individuals who are working inside your company. Okay, so that's something that we'll talk more about when we're at Genesis. Now, an important information to let you know is anytime you have a little yellow button like this, it can be opened up in a description of what that area is. And you see, click here for detailed tutorials and walkthrough. Watch this brief video on how to create and submit a project bid. That's for the contractor. So if we were back at our login screen, it tells you here, click here to add or edit consultants and contractors registered on your account. Click here to enter rehab project management, and contractors, click here to view, submit, and manage bids and draws. So we're going to enter the company side, and I'm going to show you why it's so important with the password situation. Genesis is a very smart system. So let's say I have set up for one email. Whoops, put it in correctly. Now here is my registered email. If I use the password that if I only have one email account, I must be very clear what my passwords are. So now I am trying to enter the company management system. If I'm only using one email account and I enter, but instead of entering the password I've assigned to enter the company management, but accidentally enter the password for the consultant side, I'm going to be taken to the consultant side. The system says, okay, you entered the credentials for someone wanting to enter or work on a project. I'm going to take them where I think you want to go. And so here's what has happened in the past. Someone has been wanting to get into the consultant side, but they hit consultant. So watch what I'm trying to do. They'll hit consultant. Didn't put that away. Oops. Sorry, I meant to put the company. And I hit the consultant side. Now I type in 203K Queen at. But if in this case I enter the password for the company side, even though I'm trying to get into the consultant side, it's going to take me to the company dashboard, and I can't enter orders from here. So we've had people from past trainings, they created the same username and the same password for both company and consultant. And if you do that, you cannot get into the consultant side. Okay. So once you enter the consultant side, and you will need several things to be able to work successfully with Genesys. Okay. And let me just I'll explain those things to you in just a few minutes. But here's where you will add a consultant. So you're going to add yourself as a consultant. Now, your consultant ID number is your HUD ID number. If you are not a registered consultant at this point, then what I'd like you to do is I'd like you to put, you need 5 characters, okay? I want you to put your first and last initial and 3 digits of your street name. Now, if your street name is not 3 digits long, just add an extra a letter Z on the end, okay? So your first and last initial up to 3 letters of your street address as your consultant ID, and also that will also be your NAFAC ID. Once you get certified, you will then replace that information with your HUD approved NAFAC ID, okay? Then you're going to put your first and last name, and again, we recommend that you use a different email address so that you can effectively know the difference. What do I suggest? Because you're going to ask people to email you about 203K, and we'll talk about this at the event. And it's very easy to do this. If you have your own URL, I would suggest you create an email address called 203K@inspectright.com. Again, telling people to send me emails at 203K@inspectright.com brands and gets people to, it's a marketing event right there in the name of your email account. If you do not have a URL, a domain, if you do not have your own domain, then very simply just say inspectright203K set up a gmail.com. Okay, so you'll set up a separate email address. All right, so you're going to fill in all this information and then you hit submit. Once you have created your consultant ID, consultant record, you then can go in and set the password. And again, you don't want to use the same password you use for the company side. If you are using the same email address, you want to make sure you have a separate password. Okay, so if you're keeping the same email, you must have 2 separate passwords, and you need to keep track of which one it is. But if you ever need to change your password, as long as you can log into the company side, you can easily go in and just put in a new password. And this is not like, I created this program to address all the things I hate about other programs. Okay, so type in the chat box. Okay, I'm trying to wake you guys up a little bit here. All right, type in the chat box, yes, or any comment if you hate the fact that when you are trying to change a password because you don't remember the password, they ask you what the previous password is. I may hate those sites that say, enter your old password before you can put in a new password. Type in, I hate that if you do, because that drives me absolutely out of my mind. And so we created Genesys so that it doesn't affect you in that way. All right, so that's the good news. It's not going to force you to know what the past password is in order to be able to put in the new password. So that's what you're going to use to create your Genesys account. And when we come to the conference, please have at least 1 consultant account, 1 contractor account. So once again, whoops, I'm going to go into the company side. I'm putting my email instead of my company login. So the company login, go to the company side. And this is got the right password. So now you can add contractors. You can change their passwords. And what I would suggest you do is if you have a personal email account, I would create a contractor using that personal email account so that when we are testing the program of sending a contractor a bidding invitation, you actually can access that email. So in order to do this, you're going to need several email accounts, okay? And you're going to get 2 months free membership. And so what you're going to need for your Genesis system is you're going to need at least you're going to need 2 different email accounts, one for use as the company entity, a second different one to use as a consultant, and actually, if you're going to do this well, a third one for you to enter as the contractor. So we want you to add this as a contractor, okay? And then you're going to need to have a JPEG signature file. So now, some of you don't know how to make a JPEG signature of your own wet signature, and it's very simple. If you have a smartphone and paint on your laptop, you can create your own cropped, camera-ready, print JPEG image of your signature to use in the system. And so if you're not sure how to do that, right here is a link to that. And we're going to send everyone, and I'll put that link right now on the screen. I'm going to put that link now on the chat. So I'm going to just copy that link. So if you want to just paste that link, I'm going to open it up and go to that link there. There we go. So here you can see it is very simple how to create a tramp for Adobe Acrobat, which is one of the programs we're going to be showing you how to utilize for doing 203K. So I'm going to basically give you this link. I'm going to copy. And I'm going to paste that right now into I'm sending that out to everybody. There you go. I sent that out to everybody, so I hope you can see it. And all right, and let's see, got that there. It's right there, and we're going to make it sticky. I think I made it sticky. So I just sent that message to everybody. Good. Bingo. Okay, so now you've got that email. You got that message on Skype, and you can also write this down, or you can just simply write in how to create a transparent signature stamp for Adobe Acrobat 10. That's one of the programs we're going to be teaching you how to utilize, because one of the most effective ways to be able to work with work with 203K Consulting today in this world is by working with, there we go, is by getting the electronic signatures. So getting e-signatures is one of the most successful ways to work as a 203K consultant. So that's what we're going to be working with. And so let's get past that. All right, so let's talk logistics. Okay, you're going to be arriving at hopefully, if you're not driving or from another location, many of you are in Florida or coming from driving distances. The airport that we suggest that you come into is Fort Lauderdale Hollywood Airport. FLL is the airport code. It's just under 20 miles from the hotel, and I did an Uber estimate, and the cost to the hotel is $19 to $25. I want to ask by a show of hands, or actually, yes, if you could just hit the request button, please. I'm going to lower everybody's hands. Let's see how I do this. So I'd like you to hit the request button if you would like me to set up a group on the Facebook page, the 203K Super Conference Facebook page. If you would like me to set up a group for room sharing. So if you don't know how to hit the request button, just type yes, just type RS in the chat or just type room share. So one person has couple people are putting their hands up. So if you would like, and I'm going to put this out in an email tomorrow. So I'll set up a group for room sharing for the 203K Super Conference on the Facebook page. On the 203K Facebook page, there'll be a group for you to inquire about room sharing. Okay? So if you're interested in that, and also we are extending the room block. Right now, the hotel has no power, so I can't communicate with them. But I had already asked them to extend the room block until the 15th. It was currently going to stop on the 9th. I had asked them previously to extend it to the 15th when I had to move this webinar. I asked them to extend it till 2 days after this webinar. But I'm going to ask them if they can extend it to the 20th, because again, with the situation in Florida, we want to give people as much chance to do this. So if you also want to, on the group, on our 203K Super Conference group, I am going to also put in for people who want to put in on the group what time they're flying in on Thursday afternoon to see if they want to share Ubers with people. Okay, so I'm going to put that on the site tomorrow. So if you want to update any future updates about the event, will be on there and also on Skype. Okay, so the room block is still open, and you just click the link here, 203K Super Conference /accommodations. If you just go to the home page of the website, 203K Super Conference or 203K, any of the 203K conference lines, 203ksuperconference.com, 203kconference.com. You click the link for accommodations and you can book your $99 a night, which is really great for a beautiful downtown Weston, Florida hotel. There is a bistro that serves alcohol, and there is a Starbucks. Yay, for that morning coffee or that nighttime hit. And it does have free parking. The facility where we're going to be holding the event is at the ProLab Laboratories. And that is 1675 North Commerce Parkway. The hotel is at 2000 North Commerce Parkway. I know that seems like a big distance, but it's not. It's nothing between the two. It's giant gaps between these numbers. And it is literally a 7-minute walk. Okay, 0.3 miles. And I believe the hotel did say that they provided a shuttle. I'm going to confirm that. I can't reach out to them again. Again, I couldn't contact them to confirm some of these details. So those are the logistics. And so that's where we're going to be staying. That's where everyone is hopefully going to be staying. That's where we're going to be going to. And it's a quick 7-minute walk from the hotel to the ProLab facility. And since we're going to be providing you breakfast and lunch, there's really you really don't necessarily need cars, but I know a lot of people will have cars. They'll be in Florida. So if we need to carpool, it's going to be a lot of us. So we're not sure what's going to happen. We'll play it by ear. If we need to get food brought in, we'll see what we can do. There's not a lot of eating options around in walking distance from the facility, but there are a lot of eating options in driving distance. So we might just rent an Uber van or some such nonsense. We'll see. We'll play it by ear. But for now, we got you covered. Okay. So what about meals and entertainment? Okay. Meals and entertainment. It's part of your travel budget everywhere you go. And we are definitely about entertainment. We love to have fun. So all 3 days, there will be the breakfast and a full lunch. Saturday night, there will be a general membership meeting and buffet, drinks, dancing, and fun. There's going to be a 2-hour break to go back to hotel and change if you like, rest up before you come back and enjoy our general membership meeting, which won't take long because I'm really more about getting out to the dance floor and have fun as well. So that's what's going to be the meals and entertainment throughout day 1 and day 2. Day 3 is breakfast and lunch, and then we're going to end at the 5 o'clock slot. Day 3, actually, I am so looking forward to day 3. This is the first time I have done this portion of the training, and this is a bonus day, actually. Day 3 is what everybody had asked about at the day-and-a-half training in May in Boulder, Colorado. We want to know more about what you do to make your 203K business run without you being there. Because everyone says, how can you have all these 203Ks? And I run a lot right now, not as many as I did when I was 100% in my business. But how can you run all these 203Ks and be traveling the country? Well, we're going to talk about the time-saving tools. We're going to be trained and get hands-on skills, setting up using the autoresponders and inserting the agreements in ISN. I'm going to give you some of my top 10 tips for how to hire a virtual assistant. All of my staff is virtual. Everyone who works for me, except for my inspectors, they can't be virtual, but all of my back office staff are virtual, from my call center in one state over, to my head person who takes orders and handles 203K who lives in Colombia, to the wonderful Yari Palau, who is our NAFAC service manager, who is in Orlando. So we're going to help you systematize your business, put in place programs, inexpensive resources that will put it all together for you and make it that your 203K business runs smoothly, effectively, and at the optimum return on the time investment you put in it. Because, yeah, you get $300 for a draw, but if I've heard from so many consultants, oh, it takes so long to do this paperwork and to get the signatures, how would you like to be able to get a draw processed back in your office in as little as 20 minutes or less, complete with sending it off to the borrowers and the lenders for signature? That's what we're going to teach you on day 3, our back office training day. So we're almost out of time. I like to keep to time limits. I know a lot of you have other things you need to be doing, completing reports, getting those plane tickets. Well, we want to give you guys one last opportunity to get a chance to, if you haven't booked it now, and many of you on this call, we invited many of you who actually had clicked the link but never pulled the trigger and registered. We don't have a lot of opportunities left for you to join this event. So this is the last chance that we have for you to be able to get a discounted price. And so what we're doing is we are giving you the very last chance for a discounted registration. You'll save $90 over the regular ticket price, and that regular ticket price is going to take effect very quickly. And so this is only good for the next 4 days until Monday. The companion ticket is also discounted, and you get all 3 days are approved credits for InterNACHI, and we've already sent our application in for ASHI. All right, for approval with ASHI. So we want you to act now, and I'm going to put an offer on the screen so you can actually click the link right now on the screen that's about to show up. And when you click that link, you want to enter the promo code Last Chance. This is only good through Monday. The end on Tuesday, don't call, because the price will be up to $197. And that price of $197 will only be good till September 23rd. From September 20, if we have any tickets left at that point, because we really are down to the last 20 tickets. If we have any registrations available after September 20th, we're going to stop registration completely on September 29th, and that will be at the full price of $247. So don't put this off. Don't wait. You want to basically act now. And let's see if I can put this in here. And I'm putting it up on the screen right now for you to see. So as you can see, we only have 15 available. Actually, we had 25 minutes ago, so someone must have already logged into the website. So don't put this off. You can actually click the link right now, the button that says click here to register now. And when you do, you must use the promo code Last Chance. This promo code will let you be able to get the discounted ticket of $157 and automatic discount for any companion you bring with you of $97. So if you have a person who you work with who is your back office support, your spouse, your one of your adult children, or even a teenage child who you think might be helping you in your business, the more people who understand how to do a 203K well, the more there will be of us to do them well, and the more renovation loans will be, and the more we'll be able to help people rebuild neighborhoods one home at a time. So this is what I am hoping you guys will take advantage of. Don't put it off. And I am looking forward to seeing all of you on October 6th. So please don't wait. If you are not a registered member, I hope you can see how much we're going to just jam-pack these 3 days with vital information to help you be a successful FHA consultant now. So click the button to register now, enter promo code Last Chance, or sometime before Monday, end of day Monday, go to 203ksuperconference.com and use the promo code Last Chance. Don't forget to enter your, click the link for your accommodations. So until, this is Catherine Hall, and I am hang on, I'm trying to get to that page. So, oh, there we go. So, oops, the screen dropped. So this is Catherine Hall saying, until I'm able to support you in the future, which I hope will be October 6th in Weston, Florida, be outstanding. Do me a favor, go to Facebook and post on the 203K Super Conference if you thought this was a valuable webinar to prepare you for success at the upcoming event. Bye-bye.